our society should be converted in the near future into knowledge-based society led by talented youth with outstanding educational and intellectual accomplishment. There is no one thing stronger than the entire world, and that's an idea whose time has come. We need a change. Chance favors the prepared one. Your efforts must be researching your chosen subject, field of career. A winning idea requires preparation, but should reach its final destination. It's also important to be aware of the dangers and pitfalls. Sit down and work out what the potential problems are. Have a good hard work at your startup with all its sides. Talk to a wide range of people as you can collect comments. But there is one point to be taken by most people. The first rule, and the most vital, is to survive. Talent and creativity, innovation converting our society to free democratic society through education only. The desire of transforming a society from dictatorial tyranny into a civic democratic free society full of freedom, no fear of oppression, no fear of abuse, could be secured only through education, as history tells us. Man is born free, yet everywhere he is in chains. You have to break the chains once and for all. That's the obligation of education. Otherwise, don't cry for me, Argentina. Dear guests, I wish to have a colorful ceremony, but of course, we are not a highly profile. But it is a mission with the great Professor Charles Davis from Harvard University when I was a student in Al-Fatih University in Libya. Back in 1979, he had rooted, inspired me for this kind of creativity. Since that time, it is with me, in my vein, in my blood, and above all, in my daily teaching routine. Work hard to see people win such creativity in all fields of humanity. As the chairman and the founder of the Creative Winners, I would like to see many faces every year. My aim is to change our society into educational and cultural revolution. The Eritrean society, like any third world society, should admit that we are one of the most backward countries economically, socially, and politically. So, you creative winners have a bigger role to change our people. We need a change, but not that of Obama's way. Our change to save our people's distress and misery. You are the advocate of the oppressed people. Your people are waiting your inspiration and stimulation. There is no other way to change our people except education and only education. I am not talking about Saudi Arabia or South Korea, who spend more budgets to education. Thanks go to the Minister of Education here. Even our kids are benefiting from such graceful gesture from this country. I am talking of some neighbor countries that spend reasonable budget in education rather than military. Creative winners should be aware that we will announce your names and being aired worldwide. It means that you have no time to sleep like ordinary people. The obligation became more loaded. Your people, whether here or inside, will weight your soul, will weight your sound high. So be at the level of the creativity, because this will be the way you reach the highest level worldwide till you get an international prize, inshallah. At the same time, you will remain dynamic instead of static. When Professor Charles Davis honored me as a creative winner, he meant that and buried in his mind for great responsibility towards my people, especially at that time. Our people had been bombarded mercilessly with Mengistu regime, the dictator. That's why when I came to Jeddah at the beginning of the 80s, I was looking for our youngsters, but there was another catastrophe. Because at that year, the Eritrean Liberation Front ELF had been driven out from the Eritrean field by EPLF. It was not easy to find a creative citizens, but even there was a gap of misunderstanding. Could you imagine? When I had graduated and pursued higher education in the UK universities, comparing to those who were feeling has no dimension in the conjunction between the two phenomena. So, instead of looking for creativity, I was looking for ordinary students of intermediate and secondary schools. I was inspiring and empowering them to get comprehensive English language course and then to pursue with ICS International Correspondence School, in which a limited number of students improved their learning ability and skills. In 1904, a batch of creative winners had appeared, and it was my pleasure when I saw from different sectors and ethnic group of our society, and some Indians also won prizes. The mechanism of competition is very simple and practical, as explained by Engineer Abdurrahman, which is synopsized or summarized as follows. 1. Anybody put forward himself as a creative competitor. Conditionally to be supported with evidence. Hi Hamdi, nice to see you. You are not so late. Education is never too late. The number 1. Anybody put forward himself as a creative competitor, conditionally to be supported with evidences. 2. Third part has to nominate another person, putting in consideration which plays effective and vital role in his society. There should be an impact and role of education shown of his people rather benefited from him. This means that when you have any kind of education, you have to show to your people or you have to help your people. Otherwise, you haven't done anything. Third and the last, there is a question from the organization mostly needs a talented, oriented answer like what Ahlam did this year. Then the General Secretariat formed a selective committee to evaluate the CV's education qualification and then the role they have played in their society. After that, it goes to a neutral consultant and the lawyer like Dr. Ismail al-Tayyib, because he's neutral. He don't know you. He is from other nationality. So there is no pride. There is no any tendency. An evaluation of the committee, and then it is confirmed from his side, and then passes it to me. Then I finalize it with approval. Because based on the committee and based on his evaluation, I only have to approve only. From the book, Developing Fundamental Skills, Effective Communication, which should have or supposed to be in your hand, you could note that creative winners 2 or 4 were 9 in number, and the creative winners for this year are 9 in number. Doesn't matter. Number doesn't matter. But the gap of here showed that there is something wrong with our society. I was talking to myself earlier before these numbers. Do we have creative people? At the same way, that repeatedly say, do our people read? On the contrary, I have received an information from the Secretariat, some educated in the sense of paper holders. Why creating winners? Who are they? What is the purpose? A lot of negative approach. The committee had hard time to get CVs for the nominated creative winners. Really, this is a very dangerous situation in our society. People, up to now, they don't have CV. Whenever you ask them for a CV, as if you are asking them their account number. As if you are asking them their account number. Gentlemen, we are in the 21st century. If you don't have CV, how can I know you, who you are? But whenever you ask them, could you imagine what some of them they say? You write for me. I write for him. Abdurrahman write for him. What is this? So we have to evaluate ourselves. We have to know ourselves in what stage we are. At the conclusion, I would like to say to everybody who is holding me now, or later with the tape CD, Ahmed take care of the taping matters. Try to be creative from your own. Be yourself and don't pretend or imitate others. If you were not born Abdul Qadir, I would like to be born Abdul Qadir. Socrates in his philosophy book addressing humans gave the instruction in his book by saying, be yourself. You should be an exemplary to your parents, kids, your wife, and at first your mom and dad, brothers and sisters, relatives, elders, educated people, your citizens, Christians and Muslims, and all the ethnic group of Eritrea. Believe me, you are all great people, and nobody is better than the other, except through hard work, dedication, dignity with respect. Eritreans, we live in harmony since created the border. So we are like one family. We are, wherever we go, and wherever we are. That's why we get our independence. Once again, I thank you all for being with us, but believe me, I will be more happier if you have been selected as creative winners this year. But education is never too late. You have a chance for the coming years. Those who won the contest, say to them, it is time to wake up now for more progress, because Wetek and language had loaded you with more responsibility. So, we'll keep in touch with you. There will be agents who are hidden to follow our mission and your implementation. In case shown some setbacks, your record will be blackened or your prize will be withdrawn. Last but not least, it is my duty and responsibility as the founder and chairman of Western Language to salute those who raised the Arab and North African Spring. It is my honor also to pray for those who had passed away. In this occasion, I would like you to salute those for the sake of education who had sacrificed themselves for the sake of their people. To mention some of the educated challengers. 1. Muhammad Bouaziz from Tunisia, Tawakkal Karman from Yemen, Wa'il Qunaim from Egypt, the young boy Mahmoud from Syria, Ibrahim Mahmoud from Libya. Hope the coming years to see more faces with more creativity and talented citizens. Our General Secretariat will